today might not be the first in Ghana, but it is certainly unique in every way. It is by far the largest. It is also modular, thereby allowing us to grow far into the future. And it is definitely the most complete. It is not by sheer coincidence that we have gotten here. It is by design. We are investing in the future because we believe in our country's future. Your Excellency, I would like to thank you again for your vision and for investing in a better Ghana. And I would like to say that I'm fully confident that with your leadership and perseverance, the Ghana Automotive Development Policy will soon be fully implemented.
Today has been made possible through a conscious effort by government to attract investment into the industrial sector. One of such is the development and operationalization of the Ghana Automotive Development Policy, which has the vision of making Ghana a fully integrated and competitive industrial hub for the automotive industry in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, the automotive industry is one of 10 strategic anchor industrial sectors identified by government as growth poles for our nation's industrial transformation. Against all odds and the pessimism expressed by some naysayers, we continue to attract investment into the development of an automotive industry in Ghana, with our country's automotive policy receiving rave reviews across the continent and the world. Today we are witnessing what will go down in history as another giant step towards Ghana's quest to establish herself as a regional hub for the automotive industry in sub-Saharan Africa. Rana Motors, with support from Kia Motors Corporation of Korea, the manufacturer of Kia vehicles, and one of the leading global vehicle manufacturers, has successfully established the only assembly plant for the production of Kia vehicles in West Africa. This facility has already offered direct employment to 50 young men and women, and it is expected to create some 300 indirect jobs, whilst contributing to the development of the local value chain for automobile assembly. The company, I've been informed, has the capacity to assemble some 30,000 vehicles annually, bringing the total capacity of domestically established assembly plants close to 100,000 vehicles per year. For me, this investment by Rana Motors is a strong indication of the private sector's support of my government's industrialization agenda and a sign of growing resilience by the private sector in these challenging times. I want to assure you, and indeed all private sector players, the government will continue to introduce sector-specific policy interventions which create a predictable policy regime and an enabling environment for businesses to survive and thrive. I acknowledge that a critical component for harnessing the full potential for an automotive industry is demand for assembled vehicles. As you may all be aware, I have directed through the Chief of Staff of the Office of the President the prioritization of the procurement of domestically assembled vehicles by state institutions to fulfill government's commitment of patronizing made in Ghana products. We're, however, mindful of the fact that the state alone cannot purchase the sufficient numbers of vehicles to be produced from our assembly plants, and would thus require Ghanaians also to patronize these vehicles. To stimulate demand for domestically assembled vehicles, we will soon be rolling out an asset-based vehicle financing scheme as it exists in developed economies to afford Ghanaians the opportunity to purchase vehicles from the Ghana Automotive Development Program. For the assemblers under the program, I assure you that we will continue to engage in discussions that will lead to the expansion of the market for domestically assembled vehicles at the regional and continental levels to drive demand and create the necessary traction for you to transition into complete knockdown assembly, which will be supported by component and kits produced domestically to feed into the supply chain. The Ministry of Trade and Industry will soon be submitted to Cabinet for approval the Ghana Automotive Component Manufacturing Policy, which has outlined incentives to attract investors into the component manufacturing sector. The policy will also support our artisans within Swami, Hukumpe, and other enclaves to upgrade their capacity to fit seamlessly into the automotive value chain. Ladies and gentlemen, it is government's hope that the incentives granted Rana Motors will translate into competitive pricing of vehicles for the Ghanaian consumer. We look forward to the transitioning of this assembly plant into a fully integrated vehicle production plant in Ghana. The project is yet another sign of the strong relations that exist between the Republic of Ghana and the Republic of Korea, which we appreciate very much and are determined to advance and deepen. I wish Rana Motors every success, and I'm confident that this project will prove to be a pivot in our drive to become an automotive hub, not only in West Africa, but also ultimately in the rest of Africa. Accordingly, ladies and gentlemen, Nime, I have the singular pleasure and honor to declare the Rana Motors Assembly Plant officially commissioned. May God bless Rana Motors and us all, and may God bless our homeland Ghana and make her great. And
yeah, was say in fact Nana Dan Kweku Fuado aka few months and as I mean can say aka few days na ne dwuma ye de share ne sa say wo mampani from 2020 ebesi 2024 no wode ni nyina aba de wie ye ade a chese commission ne de wogusu a wo commission bi anka chese na what we de ye nemi no a week of commission edwuma de fight ye woni say MPP aban wo betena so no Woma boy juma ye papa never be on madam moment I won't so ye general ma commission pe obati ana ndisi for about so oh John Dramani Mahama na chance ye and our danger de janana dan kweku fu ado abeto aso ba me de me hu ne se sempo no nyuma je se this year nkasa no na naro dan kweku fu ado wo kwa me share je se de aka weni me mpo na bushia e do so no sempo no say ye former president bi adwuma e na wo no ba ye e na oba abeto aso ma na wie na o commissioner. I personally do not see anything wrong with it. In fact, I'm sure boy ado gaga ado kalipo ye bawa bashu ye papa na Ghana fo nyina ye disappointed. The only thing ye sika na eja uri obushia fo no madi no scandi o madi bia nkasa galam say so be say ye nsuo ni ye sase ene ojo bi besie baby a dollar de keka kone no na amalipa bebe na wo ma so much disappointed in this government ben yesa na ba ni puntunjuma dia na dan kweku fado. I salute you say what should I say one man penny and I have this belief say said dear anya hwe na Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia e ka wo ho agese sa niam we nyina no etumi aye possible sample se Ghana for ma Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia kwanya no so no so meto adwuma pan na dan kweku fado wo dan eja me wo gidie say enya de a wo de sese beda ne ye na obebu adwuma no aye de do so no so be commission niam bebre na ma man Ghana so afa de ntuma pa from ma hwefo nyina no akwa abashonko mfambra ati judgment so wo Kumasi online GH na ya sewa eni medidi akoso wa hanum say no mede ni nyina no ba be so mu amu obi memu amu hwedwumedie lawyer fans of ati judgment mu nyina no na se shonko na sabre mede free the studios of Kumasi online GH de ama mu nyina me number is 0557036109 me ba chaba sorry reporting news be ma me wo sorry abaso de send mo WhatsApp ubetimi ede asende me product out also no member who the room farmer we ni jijumedi ho be so ba na obeso ya se we nyamidi for your spiritual so ye herbal so be se ma wakwanya no but na fidie man no say beto wundu be kanya nkopon nsam no so de kira amanfo a me pa cho friend 0550623377 and 0557036109 ya bejo so na ye no atwetwe enkomon Kumasi online media school ena asamasi andede no media teacher chimedie no so ma every panel mebubo woman numbers ni nyina no area ma me panel member ATP wa ba be ka mensa elfidie manum sia me mana kwa ba ATP
ana ya sewa
bibi aboko de
nyankopon adome ho ye na so
oba de na daro ma me ho de se be ma shole anopa ni tedua no echina ne nanso sana ahwo de ne tie ye hwe commission eja yi na echegu ya hu ne sen
ya ma ya hwefo nyina kwa be nra keka denke ye boma no so enye fidi agro ada ya mesina na dan kwa kuford ni Dr. Bawumia ba adwuma wo kromu wase but ni nyina echi no mo gitu musa ampa se na dan kwa kuford show bar gaga de plemai one eye Dr. Bawumia bo mo den ankasa we fit this week be nyina ye kohwe akra ti se flower porter ye bie ni nanse amanfo ahya se ekro tonton ne ma wo honom no babo no homodin pa ye hwe ne ma na dan kwa kuford afiwe why ye no ni krenya me anim the start no ma disappointed but ekwa we no me won se 9 people ma ni ko na nkas no mo ne ma pa na so mo ade pa edema oh my Ghana ne owiasa fa na nyina so na amafo bia no ma disappointed when people ma ni ko no mo kasa mo so o ma se na odoso nkokra esada ma NPP ma ni ko ni ti se man Dr. Bawumia akonya na me woni so wa be to nyuma power ne papa from 2017 na be 2024 nyuma power mo ye no minim say Dr. Bawumia betima to aso ama my Ghana etima konani odo say sika ni krom dollar no kwa na ekoshro but wutie mu ya na some people man ko na mo say de bia ye kra ne mafra obi ma so ye konse de sika ene go se $1 no e no mo person ko mo try asan ki ya de sika ne be bibi we krom say de be yan ka yan ko $1 ni we ni tina ama dollar ne ko ba me ye sure say de tie bia no Dr. Bawumia ba obetima ba $1 no etimi ejina ne naso yi ankasa.
In fact, people me ankasa no na watchwe no ATB like I've been amazed because okaya ye share we ya say in the month of February March na ye so much disappointed to the extent say me ya betira ha bia kwa ye say when people step down when this is step down na ye mpa neutral person na one the ombra bia sa nipa no wo ba e san say one the political party bia na say one she wo bia so one bedi Ghana fosika but as se endi ni be ya me hwe nyuma ni ade over 80+ schools 3 days today kra no wo mo commission nya ni ade agenda 111 me hwe nam say oh come on sika ni wo medibi wo me cha wo menum so ma bodwuma
video ma dibi enu ntina me se mo ma Dr. Baubiam da cause see Jaima John Dramani Mahama Baseki me nka cho so bia kwoto
oh see akra Mahama de new a promise about was say mo a mo nyai nentwie ni ade no nyame ya adom na se wo ba obepe baby a omo nentwie ni bekwa akodidi wo said ye be ya omo fam besei obi efu yedanase oh nice one osifuna ade for na hard day to oba wo so em say we no kwa na ye Rollins time and na no ye nam say Rollins ko ye sa time se ba
and na won so ba
we 2024 ye fence we hu a wo pese
na ya say my research and say ni me bi o de gi no fans kura wo kro makram no any bi kura no kura
oh ya time se ni ma ya time se
e bit is a Ridge Hospital yes if phase 2 na dan kwaku for the nebe
kra wo ro sha se mo for the fast man no
foundation but on say me problem ne wo John Mahama won say as ye ka bibia kire these members now they think say John Mahama betima bo adwuma afia wo be but
me mom now they Harry na Idrisu now the John Mahama so me Harry na Idrisu
yeah but like serious no John Mahama 4 years now dey ba no but they me so akot na fi 8 years
obebo adwuma me wogide wonu John Mahama more PF me wogide oba 24-hour economy niam abetuto ye na me hu say na Nigeria poko age me condemn me say MPP ba ye dum so aba ni ade NDC ba o mbe fix dum so ni na see
na that time na what is
na for your worry fro
me say ma me mo ko to aba fama Mahama
mo tu wi
oba wi a na sa oba ni ko school ni e ka se ko try admission fee 1000 cedis
wa ba besu
ya no besu dia chire
I am ready to my family remu story for today. Prophet Clement wakasa won in some to journey no and I almost standing as candidates for 2024 election there obedin konim. According to Prophet Clement no was you obedin konum no wo fisirem. Inti na say yen yala ni free mu yen chedan free mu and ye bisa say is it typical sesiremuni say from the northern region so ye typical northerner. And I say you be oye Christo ni osi o no de obeka e na waka e na opambo a prophet opambo o nation prophet one ba kope na cases bi ni ade ageze na anu ade na echegu ma o kada chefi fa ni vim lady na no wa react to it saso e na wa kire say dia ya na amafo bi e ka ne say ene ye to aba ni wi a ene ye be hu de wo free trade ampo nyankopon ene de wo free trade ampo nyankopon sa nkrofo ni nyina no Wamo kasa wo huna menim enye sunsumu esan say in the realms of the spirit no twedi aponyankopon ebetumi adan bibie di e dia cho say nipa we na be wini bibi say besi anase bibi say e na besi at the end of the day no twedi aponyankopon believes in sacrifices if a lot of sacrifices no etumi ekoma san nipa na twedi aponyankopon dan na di e che so e bia fa ne say nyankopon dan na di a che yi warrior prophet say MPP betumi ewini say NDC for a lot of sacrifices and ma twedi apon nyankopon a saa de na betumi adane na afi sawi no aba be ye NDC for de it is said ya beti na ya to abade wi a ene ebe hu won obu free nyame na me free nyankopon na me nyankopon na to se didi ni ade yina wo si nyankopon the prophecy eba etumi dane nyame di for be the prophecy ba na sa prophecy ne sesa ema Ghana for yentu ya no emfa won so entwa ntwambo ne sa na a lot of times no nyama bi koso in the realms of the spirit sa nyama ni nyina no na etumi esesa osi nyankopon kasa all right but in the realms of the spirit and in the atmosphere ne so no things really changing yanko na yentie ne nsem no emra sisia
I find it very disheartening when I see people say that, like, for example, I saw one man of God who said that when they have given a word of prophecy and then when it happens, they are going to see who is a true man of God and who is false. Yes. When you make that statement, then with all humility, the spirit of God has left at that instant. It's now the flesh or pride speaking. Because you want to now prove a point. Say, and I say, who is the, and they will go further to say who is the fake and who is the true. You see, the prophetic is very, how do I say it? I want the right word. It's a very tricky atmosphere. Yes. An accurate, genuine prophet can get it wrong.
Wow.
Yes, I have made a video on that. Samuel entered the house of Jesse. God told me, go and anoint one of his sons as kings. When he saw the guy with the first boy, he said, this one is the one.
He didn't know it was David.
And somebody said, oh, prophet, because he didn't speak. Prophecy doesn't start with the mouth. It starts with the intuition, what you pick. So if God had not prompted him that, hey, Oga, he would have anointed the first guy. What's his name? Eliab, right? Eliab, that this is what God wants. Because the guy was very TikTok. And those days, they also want those guys. Because the kings were men of war. So the Samuel said, Kai, God said, Oga, I beg, try answer. So he was of God. But he nearly missed it. And also we had Elisha saying to the people, he says, oh, when you go, you win this fight. When they went, they lost. At that instant, the king even took his firstborn, slay him on the wall, and things just changed. He's a prophet of God from the Lord,
but he missed that.
He missed it up.
So it means God can speak to you, then you can as well miss it.
God can speak to you, but the atmosphere can be tempered and altered. Number one, by a dangerous sacrifice. Sacrifice is very dangerous when it comes to the prophetic.
So it means you can prophesy maybe about an election, about something going to happen, but a sacrifice can go on that will just change.
A word. And also, we also have something we call human manipulations. So sometimes, a few times, God has told me some things in the past about other nations where I spoke about it, and then I saw that the later part there was manipulations.
Oh, does it mean this manipulation or people involved in this manipulation are greater than God? If God speaks, it should be final.
That's the question. But God doesn't impose his will on men. That's one thing.
Wow.
Yes. God will tell you his mind. That's the divine ordinance. What is God saying? So God can say, okay, marry this person. But you can say, oh, I don't like this one with the small legs. I like one with the big, leg and all that.
Somebody like me. How you deal with other prophets.
Right.
Especially those who curse people.
Right.
Oh, I'll curse you right now.
Right.
You will never prosper. Is it in the prophetic like that? I know there is a prophet of God in the Bible who curse
their kids. Yes.
But then, is it supposed to be like that? Prophet supposed to bless or to curse, even in difficult times?
It's not only about the prophet. Let me say a man of God. You see, but I would say people should also learn to relate with men of God. Many don't honor men of God. Okay, and sometimes you have to also know that the men of God also are human beings. They feel pain. So aside from he being a prophet or a pastor or a teacher, he has the human nature that when you do something that he doesn't like, he can use his office. So what I learned growing up as a child of God or as a church member before God called me, I never spoke about men of God. When their issues come, I turn here. Myself and my wife, some way, somehow, God showed us mercy. We were always defending them, whether right or wrong. Because when Moses went to marry the Ethiopian woman, the sister who saved him from the stream said, Oga, sir, also for what you have done is not good. God said, have I asked you? God said, are you not afraid to speak about my prophet? God was surprised that Miriam and Aaron, they were speaking against Moses. So when it comes to God's people, people don't understand it. God has a reserved way of handling them.
Are you not using that to put fear?
No. It's like the nature. Example, like this your area there are things that you do here that other people shouldn't come out and then do their own thing. It's not about fear. That is your own organizational structure. So God has a structure. Follow God's structure. So you don't go but I really don't support that though. But like you said, you made reference in the Bible that there were genuine prophets who were provoked and they spoke against. Even when Miriam spoke against Moses, Moses didn't even curse him. It was God himself that cursed her by putting leprosy. What you say? That realm, if you ask me to be very honest. That realm is there, but I don't believe that we as men of God, I don't do that, you know. But we should be very mindful of the things that we also do, because the Bible said the men of God, they are the watchers of your soul, and they will give an account. And when they grieve, it will also go against you.
Prophet, let me find out. Prophet, it looks like God speaks to you just on 31st December.
I like that.
It looks like God is, excuse my language, God, if you can forgive me, it looks like God is very lazy, but
Right.
wait on only 31st.
It's a very good question. Example, I think yesterday I was praying, an angel walked in my room and said that between now to the elections, or let me say December 31st, those on Cape Coast, Accra Cape Coast Takrady Road, should be careful that there wouldn't be a major road issue that will let even they will divert roads.
Wow.
On that stretch, yes, I saw the vision clear. He said Accra, Cape Coast, and Takrady stretch. I saw a major.
It's not an accident.
It was
Terrible one.
Terrible one. That. Yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
That has made they have diverted one of the roads towards that lane, and God said, pray about it. I've not told anyone. It came about 2 days ago.
But if God shows you this, and I'm grateful you said this here first.
Right.
If God shows you this, He doesn't give you guidelines to maybe avert some of these things.
He gives us. That's why I said I've been doing that. So now as God has spoken, now we have to now pray about it.
So when you pray,
right,
can it still happen?
When we pray, sometimes it happens. Do you know why? Because we are living in a rebellious generation.
Jesus Christ.
When God doesn't like that, sometimes God will allow that to happen to make a point that I spoke to my prophet. Example, last year I gave a national prophecies. You know this is it if anything voter region?
Yes.
I gave the flood. You know that they're flood in that way.
Yes.
I gave about it.
Yeah.
I said that there's going to be a flood in the Volta region. Anybody staying around water areas or a place where water move out, Volta region. I was very specific. I gave updates after them. 31st night, I gave updates around mid-year, and about almost August thereabout, I came to give another update again. Then a month or two, it happened. So God kept, giving me updates, and I don't have any medium except my YouTube and my Facebook. So I just, and many have watched me from that place over the years, so they know. Swaford Derek Quartin, God bless him.
KKD.
Yes, he was here and then he mentioned my name. He said, I've watched you, Prof, over 2 years quietly. Before he linked up to me like almost 2 years ago. He was watching me way back. And he said everything I said had come to, when it comes to Ghana, happiness.
Very great man.
Very sharp
man of God.
Very sharp man.
He doesn't miss it.
At all.
He's never missed it
at all. He can tell you the food you ate this afternoon and the meat on it. He can tell you. He's very powerful.
Very smart.
God bless you. You know, it's not about the 31st night. It's about an old season coming to an end, and a new season is about to start. And it's normally at the 31st night. Anytime something old is ending and a new realm is opening, there must be a word. Check the scriptures. When God was crossing the Israelites with Joshua by the Jordan, or over the Jordan, he gave Joshua a word what they have to do. And after they crossed, he also gave them a word. When God was going to cross the Red Sea with Israel, with Moses, he told Moses what to do the night before and what they will do after, because one phase is going to an end and a new phase is about to open. So 31st night prophecies are very crucial. You are entering a whole year and you are saying God shouldn't speak concerning that whole year, the new year. That's the greatest lie from the pit of hell. Oh, but next year the realms will be very okay.
Depending on who wins the election.
No, it's not about who wins, but the realm will be okay. The realm will be okay.
If you watch him on Facebook, you see the way he just shifted. The realm will be okay.
The realm will be okay.
I know you don't want to speak about that.
The Lord told me that next year will be a good year.
It will be a good year.
Yes.
Does it depend on who wins the election?
It will be a good year.
It will be a good year.
It will be a good year. It will be a good
God.
It will be a good year. It will be a good year.
I know you are not going to be happy, but let me ask you.
Right.
If you can give me just a description of the kind of person you feel is going to be the next president of Ghana. Just a description.
Of which nation?
Ghana. I'm not saying tell me who is going to win.
A description.
Maybe a description. Oh, maybe he's tall, maybe he's short, maybe he's somebody like this.
He's enough now. He's
And they are two numbers.
He's enough now. He's enough now.
All right.
Our next president of Ghana is enough now.
All right.
So
a typical one.
It's enough now. It's enough now. I know you want to be smart, so I'm also trying to ask smart. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching me. That is the final parable of the winner of the upcoming elections. If it doesn't go in your favor, please bear with us. Hopefully next time, if the Lord speaks in your favor, I'll come and say it. Maybe this one might go for party A, B, or C. And if God brings me another word in the coming election for party D, E, or F, I will come and say it as I heard it to also go in your favor. So I want you to know that I am in between. Hallelujah. I am standing in between and I'm declaring the mind of God as I say it. Now, with that being said, last year around March ending, I had a vision of the winner of the elections. God showed me what the person is going to do for the nation, and I came to describe that the person was having a makeup on his face, and the person is going to make up Ghana and transform the nation and then make it very beautiful. If the person even doesn't complete, he would start it, and then the people who are coming are going to complete it. God showed me very clear, and I saw the president now handing over to that one, and I gave the video. It's on our page now, you can watch it. But this time I just want to go straight and then tell the winner of the upcoming election as I was shown in the vision. In this coming election early this year, I was hearing the same name, but a few weeks ago I was speaking that the election race is not yet over. I was speaking that it's not yet over, that anybody who is standing has a chance of becoming the president some few weeks ago. But right now I'm seeing the atmosphere also begin to, the realms change to favor this particular person. And in a vision, the parable came to me that I want to share the parable with you. And in the parable, I saw some element or some tokens, and I would see something like, number one, an elephant, and I would see an umbrella, and I would see a cock, and I would see something like another image that was part of this race, but it wasn't really a clear thing. And I would see like a butterfly that was also in a race, and then a wind began to blow. And when the wind began to blow, all of the tokens I saw were actually in the line. When the wind blew, it began to carry them. And the wind that I saw was blowing carried these entities. And you know, this cock also has a wing. So as the wind blew, the cock tried to fly. And as the wind also blew, the butterfly also began to fly. Begins to move with the wind, I know, begins to show his skills and all that. And then you'd also see that as the wind blew, it began to also carry the umbrella. All right, but the umbrella was not really going as the butterflies and the cock was trying to go. And then the elephant, you know, couldn't have the wind blowing him because he was very strong. Are you with me? So what happened was that I saw suddenly something like exploded like a rocket, and it sparked and wanted to lift the elephant up like a dynamite, like an energy exploded and wanted to lift the elephant up, and the elephant also was lifted up. All right, and he went higher, but because the energy couldn't have enough sustenance, when the elephant went higher, it more like began to also come down. It had a lot of power and it was carried higher. You know,
what you know, Prophet Clement, and I watch you say I feel ya by ya kwakotono. It's a big win at the money power free northern region. But ye national him say John Dramani Mahama free northern region so and I vice president so Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia one also a free northern region, but the later part in Semano Wakande or Kawana sorry they which clearly shows to say the elephant is winning 2024 election. ABC ATP meeting.
Ebi many ajiha was simimane prophecy no say one corner direct one corner straight or divert ya the end you know. And now or if you can why by remember now Betty I say ya kasa the way I will see me prophesy and manage home pie and need someone who work as a Yakupon Betty me Yankupon Betty me Asha I'm a prophecy beside the end and nurses and then no cray base man said John Mahama nebi at the end of the day na kwa dan and I'm say as for no more prophecy no the real obesimi akasa afanyesa na kodani sesia na yebeka sa wonye so papa e wukromu ase. Okay, ebusi am so far there for comment section na say me communication team member Edma movement for change your friend no Mr. John or the same bia babonti a watch say ni nyina no kufuo endorsement just wo endorse Dr. Mahamudu Bobi kame akwa yes members of movement for change no so na yaudie egushu aja say wo mu ankasa because adechi ade sebia no na wo mu bi edensem babonten na wo akasa na no che so we bibia amanyoko roman kasa wo ma hu say 2024 election wo ma reda da wo ma kasa wo ma so wo medi ncho enuti ena wo kofa agufo se gufo mbra na ombe endorse Dr. Mahamudu Bobi ni nyina no propaganda bi ena ekoshbo de wo kama wo mate ase say sempo no say Alan Kojo Chairman kura wini a there is no way say MPP be wini wasi aba we yan hwe ye be call runoff na ebe kono say Alan Kojo Chairman kura step it down the call runoff no step it down no ebe ma John Dramani Mahama ebetumi edi nkunim several times na yatina fidiem hanum say especially ATP assembly what aka pa say the Alan Kojo Chairman ni movement for change the hopes na doye mu bi no say the ya no mo de nsem ebe abonten kame akwa say enye campaign and wo mo yes Alan Kojo Chairman ni nkunim na mmom no ade a wo mo ye campaign ede ama John Dramani Mahama in fact abrante wa demonstrate sasema debia no aya na ATP ka ne yanko na yentesem no emra sisia
say nyame adomo man na ba probo ko say eniema miensa dead obi openokre resort to propaganda no hu say ekotia no number 1 so we politics na hu say a drew point be ye dragging ni pabem point number 2 say president Kufuor they were bob breadry afi ye dragging abem so me ye endorsement e ho so no hu say eniema kutia o
to fi say party no na kasa papa wa me kan bia
yes
ye drew
yes
pugunu mu
yes o man
are you sure
ye mu bi no ye nyine pi but ahobrase ene mpanyimfo echi nantinti
mahunu bi
the what is politics
okay
so what I say ye wo breso a ye invite religious leaders whether they saw it men ka say entro obi wo ho a o na sorry no am good prophecy about you ye hear some message no because there is a correlation between prophecy a go in your bidding and voter turnout it me create say assume si na be win dia ene mento enti eno so ye weapon enti se meka eniema miensen ebom se edrum pempenso a party or wabem or all the resources to himself.
He is now resorting to propaganda.
He is resorting to propaganda, resorting to statesmen, and resorting to prophecies. Owusu
MPP Owusu.
Oh, flat. Now the margin will be bigger. So for Yaka, Prophet, Yanina Yan Empire, Fisi Nipa, Yogusu Bobra. But Miss Me catch now. Wamani dear. Miss Me Mount figure.
So, Mammy, what the idea?
Two things.
Astrology and I say,
oh, Miss Media and Kabum data research.
Data and research. So yours is scientific.
Mine is both scientific and intuition.
So by your intuition and scientifically,
scientifically,
one
about way. The first projection is runoff. The second projection, me papa mon find chemi. The other win Mahama Besaba. And I'm giving 53.7. Me pacho trene ye the back compare me see and yes spiritual asem.
Movement for change.
Me na me catch ye the abano ko second round.
Momo dey ko second round.
Yes, na ye ko second round. And no it will turn in our favor to win. say our man is the alternative. Mahama, which is 53.7 above.
Second round no.
Second round second
round obey 53 na just we go first now want to be nyanti don win it.
First round no. The first case is that first round no. Okay. Say eko na say epaya. So be enya
enti ebeye ebia eda Alan
versus Mahama.
MPP Grandma.
Mr. Wefrim. Alan Trematin, a second rounder. Alan Trematin versus Mahama.
MPP is out.
Now him. I know the mystery minka. A seer maker. Say Abano second rounder. Invite me. Mesa about video so. Never beka anko second round. And of course, say Ukugima. I was say room for a conifa may day a
second round
MPP onya me see mama figure
can you bear say
me see 53 and above
and
second round tra me see me the data
and second round your party your movement for changes there but why you saying say MPP nya Mahama ne benya
say my calculations me we are your conversation ma ube hunu die ntia number 1 o mine na yetim no o wine o mine
Abrante ya yokoti ye chese wo your kasa mafo ankasa communication team member and the movement for change and a way Johnny Alan Kojo Chairman Timbo Messi Honumo sa abane ko run off John Dramani Mahama ne bewini chese e kamia kwa yese the movement for change wo mu demonstrate or time bi e ama MPP party no se party no obi ampamomo mo ana mosama kwa kense modin 20 mapa ak munkuku no munkaka na mafirimu na mafirimu away from this hotel it is senka John Dramani Mahama mporo na kane na nkamu pene ni mahu a mo ye niam bebre na di ti ano no enne sanse mo wo sa atan na edema MPP amanyo konti no mo bompa ye se ala ni mpamba John Dramani Mahama embra we nyina kase ATV mintie we
nana ya se wa Alan Kojo Chairman ni mistake away no because papa we di no ho ya o ye na adwen senka won to ma MPP ma ko beto ko so papa na se but enna mensem oba bonte
be kafa
ko fo ho ntino enya do beto abana mala ko na beto abande ama Dr. Bob and Dr. Bob ya ba bi di o mine so sa cause Alan na no wodo ma no ensema work cause oda Ghana for the makofo no e dosho
but ATP who can manfa we embe chipi in on said debia no demo a would demonstrate or time edema will be no woman sa ni pani bom ni odo bebre but this is something these politicians they don't know the moment I will time because as a woman ya including the pastors I said there Dr. Muhammad Bom as a wonye nipa but the more na wo yes and the more na so na wo frɛ for odo bebre na e dia ma sa nipa
and our brother say share sister me na from start but I'm seeing to about my MPP amanu no na me see me to about the Alan Kojo Chairman but me 7 December me kwa to about no the Dr. Baumia yes odona baba be and asema ye man pani na da ko for baba nten be kai no ama for bebre na chipi o madwen sa de ko MPP back etin de tie bia no ye de na ayi Alan Kojo Chairman ne members mu ba be bleedi pa but mu nyai se mu ma ye se mu support to ndi sa
that's it and da ya kai ya se hopes in share o mu a was so want ya say what
I say some of my tia say now de ye mo pese mo be yi mani mama Ghana for hu say Mohammed yeah enti mo ma ye hu say yes because asema work for ne tintin ne kran even kran na Alan Kojo Chairman to no kran to man
Mahama
yes enti no mo ma
it clearly shows say mo na MPP na mo time wo mo
Alan no to hu ase Esa wotu was missing am or dot the mouth papa.
This is your shot say why no ya campaign amani say
but just bear 2 weeks e ko to and send bia wo keka communicate no and send for time emwa awutimi kwa ka say e ka wo kro na ka wo ba na kofo ba ye and the fine when nyina e fa ye
it matters in the past
ye tro book man ye Alan Kojo Chairman odo ama for the ma wono se na asa drop it enti buda mo ko to abana ma mo to ma Alan ko da mo to ma John Mahama na mo da John Mahama mala ye ba ne ye kwa unye yiem ye suwi a ekro ma made kenka just miam ye mini passport visa kwa ne ba bi nya bi ya ko embassy say ye kwa akoye interview akase ye tu kwan akobi masgala ne nyina e be wi no okro mu ase ye de ensa be gu ye ti anya fidiagro okro mu ase enti no nya de mo ye ye no otan no enipa da sani zo otan nipa kwa de Time at the end of the day, no akra na house so bad day. No ho. Time at the day. Odro say MP money ko no one way ni ya. This is not the way and I say since I say me twa musuka. U twa musuka then the bit ma kwa 10 years aba be sim so. Enti mesra wada. Say na wardrobe pa e de MP money ko dada no. Woman entina ho no. Se ma free party mu so a woman MP money ko no mudi e free manu ma mo mudi ndim. Se doctor ba omi na fi obedi nkunuma wodi nkunim. Do bebe bia wo mra. Yes, I have bremo. Do a bebe bia, one mela chrome was a no me do a minus. So my nebe ye, saying ye, so ye and tiasi, yen tiasi, saying the chrome was a yan. At the end of the day, no, any bone say, Nipan or buy no, born home way, modern born, I said, one man be yadi, and no ya go to be crack aside, and I may try, I said, no, yes, said, yeah, Alan Kojochaman things if I change and not to say, name your dog, kind cry, and I would them for any MPP party. I said the MPP party. Now dear woman, I'm working at the council. As I'm now kind in the papa no or don't cry the mawa from the day I will cancel as I'm not running in every door. Was I not so nakai hosting a doyeka and now one office called the year was see me dinner who dance 80 the year was see me dinner one. This is what I want us to understand. So okay, to say I'm going to go to one man with the and I say Siano or one home it's can't happen that way. Nipa no MP man ko na ba ne ba ya kofo Allah no naka Allah ne pese kofo ka se mo de amount mo obeti ma in the campaign dia ma ba wo mi asa mo to aba but kofo shouldn't make the statement to say ba wo mi ane na betimi aboa Ghana economy we ye kwa he ni tini ne nine ne nche no we he aka meni ala na ho aka be betra wa ire pa ye busa me sase me ka se mba ko pe na meka ka be ka de ona na ya sa me to me no se nka meni ala nkojo kire matina aka wo say oh e papa ko fo na aka our MPP want to make us all the support managers workers the doctor ba omi and the baby but I ban the economy me so me bo me homode me ti ma bo mo my Ghana ti ma chu hey challenge for boss boza sometimes o see the running mate no be foul. It's such a simple comment. Yeah, for your nice shiny panipa boom. Want to make a condemn Dr. Muhammadu Baumia. Me grandpa make us so. Kufuano no watch na again. Yeah, na ye Ghana. You who said your Ghana economy no etie. Me so ame wa hey. Me so mabebu akufu pay. Na na the government mabebu pay. Everything I mesra mo say mo so me so share. Na mo hwe say Ghana economy no mo de mamia metumi ahweli ana say me hweli simple na say na wo de na me man ni free moon na I don't know history teacher na minimum 80 favor so the yes e mbre me nya ya what's up kwa page da be na ya ene say amafu we kwa na da no mo cry free movement 80 mama da was here but have a wonderful weekend MC Hana Brema ya kwa na nsema ye de be so mo no ye de ni nyina beba na wie ye 0550623377 and that's 0557036109 me pa cho numbers 2 no ye nyame di for your spiritualist who ye herbalist what is jumedi e wo so ya so ton products wo pese ye bohu de roma wa na mesa mabobo emu bia betimi afra ye ndesi so ye beje bre na ye no wa twhwe nko me number so 0557036109 me pa cho wo news episode send me mu aya na most times mo send me bi no nyagopon enshamu ina ye papa I really appreciate each and every one of you wo be so report story bi ema me ampacho o frame ya metimi ama wakwenya na wa report story ne so edi amam jumeko so ma se andem dia tija jumedi be so mo so Kumasi online media school me pacho media courses ahodro na wo ye bi wo ma hwe ye no na echegu wo kasafoni ne no aha no yeso wo school da wo school da wo degree wo diploma wo ni jinsem treju wa practical senkuan 3 months pe 100% practicals beto book nim beto uniform nim ye wo chamodi studio equipment e bo amamanfo nya nim die won sem twedwuma no hu nyina no ye wo bi e wo ya hwe ya wo ba chefo wo do wa bochre no wo mbeto wo bo e de wa fa sa entity ye no forms ye 100 cedis pe obenye we founders of Kumasi online TV ye cha kwan ye Kumasi asqua ye ni TI amas and edition for enquiries
Friend was 0550623377 and that's 055703610. Number executive producer, Mr. Daniel Yabua. Editor ni MCR so Abrante Parko Joma no me am tire dwem. Edi jumedi so beso mu midi ene na na ya so makram nyame adoma ye besan so edi ehia.
Amafwe Kumasi online TV production yaba ne de ne yaba ye de equipment ekukudam ana ye de aba se eye camera de enam wiem de nam fom de enam ensuom ni nyina ye wo bi e wo honom a TV production yabo a hu ye pa se wo ye dwumadie bi etese wedding eye engagement and sorry ana schools se wo ye semna bi na pese betwa ko all the social media networks no so e de amaw ye ni ntotonsa na fre eye Kumasi online TV production for na yamra na ye dwumadie ne Kama fe a ebo no eda from pa the production so the sound quality video quality ni nyina e wo soro wo pese wo hu ba bia wa ye wo Kumasi eyetia media opposite one ma ana se to nsa ne frɛ wa homa trufo so 0550623377 Kumasi online TV production ye demufua e wo Kumasi kodua mu.